too many people have lost sight of the true meaning of Christmas.
Mom! Hush!
Shut up, Ralphie! So now, in the spirit of the original,
I'm meeting you. Stop!
traditional, American Christmas,
Thanks a lot.
MGM presents A Christmas Story.
Dancing through the snow.
Uncle.
In a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the field we go. Caroling all the way. Bells on bobtail ring. Here it's come.
You? I think so.
What time it is to ride and sing. Ho, ho. This sleighing trumpet night. Ho, ho, ho.
Fragile. It must be Italian.
I think that says fragile.
Look at that.
A Christmas Story.
Come on!
The movie that pulls off Santa's beard. And unwraps the secrets
Can I get a time machine?
of the original, traditional,
You look like a deranged Easter bunny.
100% two-fisted, red-blooded,
It's smiling at me.
all-American Christmas. A Christmas Story.
Merry Christmas, and Alexa's back. So yes, I am going to be reviewing A Christmas Story right after this wonderful retro message. I wonder what commercial it is this time.
Another boring party. This is a job for Beetlejuice!
It's showtime!
Uh-oh! He's in trouble. Oh, you're so cute!
Can I be scary or what? It's really dead around here. Whoa, almost lost my head.
Now this is a party!
I'm the ghost with the most.
Talking Beetlejuice. Pull it string and hear 6 random Beetlejuice expressions.
Well, I am reviewing A Christmas Story. To some, this is the best Christmas movie that was ever made. So I don't know where this falls on my list. You will find out at the end of my review here. But yes, to a lot of people, this is a classic. And from what I read today, this slowly made its way to a classic. This did not really take off well at the box office. It made money, but it did take a while. So this came out, I believe, in November. And then I think it was actually taken off out of the theaters during the Christmas time for whatever reason. So that's kind of a weird thing that I ended up reading today. I thought this was an instant thing. It was not. And then they started playing this on 24 hours on Christmas Day. So I think so then they slowly did it. They gradually put it on the air, and then I think they just overkilled it. So, so some people love it, and now some people hate it because they overplayed it. So this movie did come out in 1983, so I know here's a huge shocker. The big movie in 1983 was obviously it was Return of the Jedi, I believe, not The Empire Strikes Back.
No, Return of the Jedi.
I almost got it mixed up there, so sorry, Star Wars fans. Sorry for really making people angry. Raiders of the Lost Ark was obviously not too far behind. That was another big movie that did come out in 1983. So I'm pretty sure I've covered 83 before, so I'm not going to get into it too much. But this is... and also Rocky 3 as well. Superman 3 wasn't really a huge hit, but whatever. We'll get back to A Christmas Story. So this starred Darren McGavin as Mr. Parker. You would not have seen him in anything.
Oh, okay.
He was in The Natural. He was in Billy Madison.
No, I know.
Okay, there you go. Melinda Dillon is the mother in this. She was in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. She was in, I believe, Harry and the Hendersons. She was in Slapshot. And none of them ring a bell? Okay.
Nope.
And these two actors and actresses did pass away. And Peter Billingsley plays Ralphie Parker.
Who?
Peter Billingsley, he was in... He's produced a couple things. He actually made the Broadway show of this movie. He was also in, obviously, the other one where they had the older, whatever you want to call it, the older years. Well, he's little Ralphie Parker in this. He is the main character. And then there's his brother. And it's just Mr. and Mrs. Parker in this movie. They don't actually have names. And his brother's name is Randy. There's also a couple co-stars. Zach Ward is the... he wasn't in anything, so you don't have to worry. He was the bully in this.
The
Scott
douche?
Farkas. Sure, he's one of them. And then, of course, Ralphie does have a couple of his friends. There's J.D. Robb, who plays his friend Schwartz. And then there's actually the actor's name that is actually Schwartz, and that's his friend Flick. And Schwartz was in more of... He kind of went off into the adult films. So he pulled an Ebert, and he actually started producing adult films. Okay, so I guess I'll be kicking rocks this Christmas. Let's see here. So, I forgot where I left off. 1983, we had Return of the Jedi.
No, you already did that. You was
Okay.
going through the peoples.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I was going through the actors. So this guy named Schwartz, yes, he went into the adult films. And, yeah, that Ebert thing's not a joke. You can look up Roger Ebert. He did do X-rated movies. That's not one of my jokes. That actually really happened. So anyway, so this is taking place, I believe, in 1939, 1940. At Christmas time, kids are excited. They got the cool displays that they don't have anymore because now they're trying to please Generation Boring, where they don't want anything moving and have anything mechanical. They just want it to be dark and gray and lifeless.
Like your soul.
That's just why I say Generation Boring. So anyway, so they also have the cool displays with Santa Claus as well in the malls. When malls were a thing and department stores were cool. So some of the cars look kind of neat too in this movie. This is taking place in Indiana. The real house for this is actually a museum in Ohio. So you can actually see the Christmas Story house if you choose to go there. So Ralphie Parker is looking through one of the windows, and he sees a Red Ryder BB gun. And this is what he wants for Christmas. And it's a hassle for him to get this gun. His mom, obviously, no pun intended, shoots the idea down. She does not want him having a gun because she says that she'll shoot his eye out. And then his teacher, so on and so forth, she says the same thing. It becomes a whole line, and eventually people started to overquote this, "You'll shoot your eye out, kid," kind of thing. And yes, Buddy from Cake Boss did the same thing for... Oh, I'm sorry, not Cake Boss. When he did The Next Great Baker. He said it, and then, of course, his contestants on the show did their fake laughter. Yes, so even Carlos from Buddy's Bakery said the line. And said
No,
it
it's
poorly.
Buddy from Carlos Bakery.
Oh, is that what it is? Sorry, Buddy from Carlos Bakery.
Oh,
I'm so sorry that I got that jerk's name wrong. Well, he is. I can't help it.
Have you met him?
I haven't, thank God.
Then how do you know if he's a jerk?
I've seen him on TV. I've judged him enough.
I judge you every day.
Yeah, well,
Doesn't mean my opinion is going to be the same as somebody else's.
Oh, it is.
Well, that's not good then.
You give me a gold medal.
Yeah, in your dreams.
Well, at least it's a gold medal somewhere, right? Okay, so he's fighting to get this Red Ryder BB gun to his parents' attention, his teacher's attention, and also later on, the big man himself, Santa Claus, at the department store. He's also fighting with a bully named Scott Farkas, his little toady named Grover Dill. So this whole thing, there's a lot of little events in here that people do like, including somebody sticking their tongue to a frozen pole.
Have you ever done that?
No.
You should go do that.
No, I'd rather not. I've seen what happens. It can't be pretty, and I hate the cold anyway. So I will actually be showing
Well, you're going back there tomorrow.
Not a chance.
You want to bet?
No, I'm not. No. Airports are closed on Christmas Day.
I said tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's true. It is Christmas Day right now. Anyways, I will actually get Alexa to work and turn off the lights so I can show the first clip.
Red Ryder himself. In his hand was the knurled stock of this coolly deadly looking a piece of weaponry.
Well, this is the first clip here, and you can see the Red Ryder BB gun thing kind of hitting on that really cool display. And then you see the little dorky Ralphie just kind of plopping his chubby cheeks on that window with those Princess Leia looking earmuffs. Looking through there, just dreaming about this harmless little BB gun here. So, he's obviously dreaming about it. He's got some ideas to try to trick his mother into reading a Red Ryder sales pitch by putting it in one of her Look magazines, which I'm sure was the garbage at the time. So, I will show the next clip of the mother asking Ralphie what he would like for Christmas, and we will see what happens.
Horrified, I heard myself blurted out.
Undercover Action 2 and showings while errors.
No. Shoot your eye out.
Oh no, it was the classic.
Well, there we go. So she actually says you'll shoot your eye out after he said what he wanted for Christmas. And I have a guest. He was snooping around the presents, and we put an end to that, didn't we? Yeah, you'll have to wait till tomorrow. Sorry. Just like the rest of us. So, anyways, so then he just, goes around about it. Says he'd like some Tinker toys. She never buys it. So then he does one of his little goofy daydreams, which in my opinion does ruin part of the movie. This does happen from time to time. So he has these little daydreams of how he's a hero and blah, blah, blah. It really does ruin the movie for me a little bit. So some parts have been good and some parts not so good. So now a scene that I did find was the father constantly fighting with the furnace. These parts are kind of funny because this does happen throughout the movie. So I figured I would find one clip of him, Mr. Parker versus the furnace. I will show you that in just a second.
It's a clinker! That blasted, stupid furnace, that gummit!
Just get his tantrum a little bit. Well, it looks like his dad is losing the battle with Mr. Furnace, and I lost my spot to Mr. Skip. So this is, I guess, what they had to do back then with a furnace. I guess they actually had to go down there and maybe change the oil or something. But it looks like he's having quite a problem, and I guess I wouldn't blame him. I would want my furnace working a lot more than an air conditioning system any day of the week. So... What, I'm Mr. Heat Miser, remember? So,
why do you need a furnace on when it's 80 degrees outside, you moron?
Well, not when it's 80 degrees, but in winter like that, I would be doing exactly what he would be doing.
You'll be going outside and sleep in the snow.
Oh dear. Okay. Well, this is another battle I'm going to lose tonight. So I will just get to the next clip where we have another battle going on. Flick versus the Pole. And now I'm trying to get the names right here. Okay. Schwartz is daring Flick to lick the pole. I get them mixed up because the actor that plays Flick, his real name is Schwartz. So that's why I get them mixed up. So we will see how this goes. Will he win the battle, or will the pole say, I'm just going to rip your whole entire tongue out?
I will sure whip yours out.
Nobody wishes that. I've got the gift of gab. And Alexa will turn off the lights.
Well, go on, smart ass, and do it. I'm going. This is next. Duck.
Alright, well, this is Flick with this pole here. Yeah, it didn't really go in Flick's favor. He was screaming and yelling. It's almost like his mom made him watch The View on TV. I'd be screaming too if I had to watch that. But yeah, this obviously looked like it hurt. So he was dared to do this. I don't really know how dares worked in the 40s, but I heard they were actually a big deal. So the teacher makes them write a theme, I guess, as a punishment. So Ralphie thinks this is a great time to write about his little Christmas present, his BB gun. So, okay, so they're out of school now. So now we get to meet the bully and his PIC, his little toady in crime here. So we will meet them in just a second.
Rotten name. We were trapped. There he stood, between us and the alley. Scott Farkas staring out at us with his yellow eyes. He had Farkas's crummy little toady. Mean, rotten.
Oh, this is Scott Farkas, and this is the really annoying bully, I think, more than anything. I don't think he's really scary looking. I think he's just mostly just irritating, and obviously he pushed over Randy, and he just lay there like a slug. And then we meet his accomplice, which is the little annoying little toady. I don't understand why they just don't beat him. They can easily overpower him. So these are the two bullies that I wanted to introduce. So the dad did some type of contest, and he won. So we're going to find out what his prize is. Now this is also 1940. So there was no Amazon, and there was also no cardboard. So this wooden thing that looks like a coffin is actually what packages used to come in. So in order to open them, it did not take your fist and pulling back tape. You actually had to get a crowbar and pry it open. So I will show you that scene in just a second.
Would you look at that? What is this? Wait, it's a light. What a great light.
No.
Well, here is the famous lamp that the dad gets from doing one of his stupid, silly puzzles about the Lone Ranger's nephew's horse, which was Victor, by the way. So this was one of his silly puzzles, and he gets a silly prize. It was a lot of work to open that package just to get the world's ugliest lamp. So there it is, folks. There's the famous lamp that you can now buy in any store now. You can even buy these on Amazon and make that Bezos guy even more richer than you already have. So now, since this little lamp scene is over with, so we can check this one off the box, now I will go through one of those little daydreams that I do not like about this movie. So I will show, this is the only one I'm going to show because I can only tolerate so much. So I will show you this scene in just a second. Don't get the idea. Well, this is what I'm kind of talking about here, and please comment on these scenes as well. Am I the only one that doesn't like these? Bob Clark has done a nice job directing this until these little points here. This is what he ruins. And he has done some other movies. He did Summer Story. I think he did Christmas Story 2. He also did the Fudge series as well. But this is not his strong point. He seems to like to ruin movies with little scenes like this. So, anyways, this scene actually does get worse. It doesn't get any better. Not only is she grading it wearing that ridiculous looking outfit, something that Joan Rivers would probably design. So, after she's grading that, Ralphie gets up and then they start cheering because he gets an A+. This is where the kids in a normal world would probably all stand up and open a window and throw him out. So, no, they would not celebrate this at all. So, after this scene here, they go and they pick out a Christmas tree, and the mother is already starting the lamp war. She's starting to shut it off on him. I'm sure she has dreams at night of just smashing the lamp over his head or possibly throwing it in the furnace. So now we will get to the famous scene where after they buy a Christmas tree, the tire goes flat. Well, what do you want? It's an Oldsmobile. Of course these things are going to happen. So he gets out of the car, him and Ralphie change the tire, and we will find out what happens next after Alexa turns off the lights.
Fudge, big one.
What did you say? That's what I thought you said. Car.
Well, this is Ralphie here dropping the F word after all those nuts and bolts were dumped all over the place. Now, from what I read, Ralphie did actually say the actual word, and they kind of went over it, and I guess he had to say it about 20 times in each scene so they would finally get it right. Now, the scene after this, so what happens is that he has the mom rinses his mouth out with soap. He's got a bar of soap in his mouth, and the narrator says that it's palm olive soap. And the brand that was used was not by accident. The director said, from experience, that was the worst tasting soap. So I'm guessing that the director of this movie, his mom must have rinsed his mouth out with soap a few times in his life. That's what you used to do if you said a bad word. Kids did it.
Hot sauce also works.
Oh, okay. So other things work as well. All right. Well, speaking of punishment, other things are going on here. The Ralphie's mother felt like breaking something in the house, and you can probably guess what that something is. And the dad's reaction is priceless. And I can't get the whole thing because MGM likes to be fun police. So, unfortunately, I will only show part of this scene, but this is one of my favorite scenes in the movie. And something I do want to add is the parents in this movie, I think, are the ones that do carry it, because the two of them together really are fantastic. So, I will now show that scene in just a couple seconds. Well, the lamp is broken. That's a shame. And I do like, if you notice real closely, how the mother is actually laughing in the background. I think I found that funnier than the grumpy look on Mr. Parker's face. So this is one of my favorite scenes in the movie. I really thought this part was incredibly funny. So after this, Ralphie does end up getting a C on his great paper that he thought he was going to get an A+ on. I guess a thing that tells time isn't really great literature or great poetry, for that matter. I think he even spelled Christmas wrong. So, no, not good, Ralphie, at all. So I I did not show that. There wasn't really any reason to. And Ralphie also stood up to his bully. And now we're getting to the big man himself. Ralphie gets to tell Santa Claus what he wants for Christmas. Now this should go over well because it is Santa himself. So I will show you the scene in just a second.
Come on up there. Ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho.
Little boy.
My mind has gone blank.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
Well, this is the final clip because I'm not going to let anybody know if Ralphie does get his wonderful prized possession, which is the Red Ryder BB gun. In my opinion, that is kind of destroying the end of this movie. The only spoiler I'll get away with, or that I'll say, is that at the end of it, they do end up going out for Chinese food at the end of this movie, which is duck. And when the chef or whatever cuts the duck's neck off, they did not tell Melinda Dillon that they were doing that. So that scream that she gives is actually a real scream. That was not part of the script. So they left it in there because it was just that good. So that's the only part I'm going to tell about the end of the movie. So, but now our little friends have reviewed this movie, and yes, it is Sickle and Gingerbread Boy. So they did review this movie, and let's find out if they liked it or not. I would actually like to see their opinions on this one. I have not yet seen it.
About growing up in Gary, Indiana.
It's very funny. A Christmas Story is based on the writings of American humorist Gene Shepard, recalling with great accuracy the pains and joys of his growing up in the Midwest in the 40s. The film is a collection of incidents told with an adult narrator looking back on his youth with a smile. For example, a Christmas wish for a BB rifle.
What would you like for Christmas?
He visits Santa Claus at a department store and asks for the same rifle.
Come on up there.
We have seen so many movies lately about people trying to do great things, fly to another planet, save the world. Here is something with just as much tension, and it's about a kid wanting a little BB rifle. It's a sweet movie, and what's great about this movie is that even if that never happened to you, you know that that's a true scene. We remember that emotion from somewhere in our youth. A Christmas Story is full of wonderful scenes like those. It's a fragile movie, no sex, no violence. I really wonder if anyone is going to see it. I sure hope they do.
I'll tell you, my guess is either nobody will go to see it or millions of people will go to see it because it will catch on. It's the kind of movie that everyone can identify with. And from those clips, we might have given the impression that it's sort of a Norman Rockwell movie, but in a way, this is Norman Rockwell as filtered through the pages of Mad Magazine or the National Lampoon, because Gene Shepard has an edge to him.
He does.
And in this material, he's kind of satirical, and he kind of remembers the bite and even the violence of being a kid and thinking about things so passionately that there's just no room for compromise.
It's a wonderful film, and it was directed by, of all people, Bob Clark, who made two of the films that you and I hate the most, Porky's 1 and Porky's 2. We like what he's remembering this time about his youth.
Way to go, Bob. Next.
Well, Dumb and Dumber are on, and that actually wasn't a bad review. I do like how they said no sex and no violence. It's a PG-rated movie. So I don't know where they were going with that. And of course I don't like Porky's and Porky's 2. It's about guys chasing women. I don't think any of them have any experience in that field. And yes, I know that they can all relate with Christmas because obviously Gene Siskel wants a toupee. And obviously Ebert, well, we all know what he wants. He wants a whole thing of Krispy Kreme donuts in his house. So yeah, so they actually did give a good review, but it still was, they were still missing things as well. They just brought up the parts with Ralphie, but what about the parts with the parents? Those are just as good. The dad's facial expressions in this movie were actually hilarious, especially the part with Randy when he put himself in the cupboard and then came out, and the dad's facial expression when he saw that was great, but they don't ever mention that stuff. So I don't know why people thought these two critics were great. I think they're complete trash. So, anyway, so that's the whole Siskel and Ebert segment. That's done, even though they gave it a good review. I'm still going to criticize them anyway. So, now the review with this. Now, is this the best Christmas movie of all time? Not even close. But is it enjoyable? Yes. It did make me laugh. It did have some really good parts in it, but it was also... But Bob Clark did ruin quite a few scenes as well. So if I'm going to grade this thing, I guess I'll do a Miss Shields here. I'm not going to give it a C+, but I will give it a B. Because in my opinion, that's what it is. It is not close to Christmas Vacation or Miracle on 34th Street or A Christmas Carol or a Muppet Christmas Carol. Sorry. Or even the 1987 Muppet TV movie. That was very good too. So there is... how can I forget about the Home Alones that I just reviewed? I'll put those ahead of it as well. So...
Santa Claus.
I like this better than the Santa Claus. Sorry.
It's a Wonderful Life.
I did not care for It's a Wonderful Life.
Die Hard.
I like Die Hard better. I think I might, but I don't know. That's tough though because that's action, but it does have some comedy in there too. I did obviously like this a lot better than Elf. I did like this better than the Polar Express. No, I like the Polar Express. I just like this a little bit better.
Didn't see it.
Oh. I'm trying to think of some other one. I liked it better than The Holiday. I'm trying to think of some others. I like this better than Fred Claus. I like this a lot better than Deck the Halls or Jingle All the Way.
Jack Frost.
No, I like this better than Jack Frost.
You grew up weird.
So yeah, there is a lot of movies I would actually put this in front of, but it's not like I'm not saying I hate those other movies. I just like this one more. So this is where I'm going to leave it. Do I recommend it? Absolutely. I do recommend this movie. I ended up buying it. I got it as a present, I think, actually, on VHS. And then I bought this on DVD. I bought it for $7. If you go to Worst Buy, you'll pay $15. So, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it was like a $15 movie when I bought it for $7 at Target. So, this was years ago, but I'm sure Worst Buy still has it overpriced. But I don't know what streaming service this would be on. I'm not sure if it's on Disney Plus or if it's on some other expensive one. But I just recommend buying the thing. Yes, on eBay or a flea market, or if they still sell them at Walmart or Target, which I doubt they actually do since they're starting to get thin in that department. So
then Target has absolutely none.
Okay, well, yeah, but I don't know about other ones, though. Our Target doesn't have any, but other ones might. So, yes, like I said, I do recommend it. It is a family movie. Your family can watch this. So, comment below, subscribe if you want, and thank you for watching. I will see you next time.